Good evening, YouTube.
Hello, Matt here with Pendley's Plentiful Pets. How's it going, guys? We're here with the Arizona Fish Rescue. These are all shrimp plants. Everything you see here was all rescued in one way, shape, or form. We are here to give these guys a nice little plant setup. I got my buddy here, Armando. He's the kind of guy to basically make plants what plants need to be. So we're going to go ahead and throw some substrate in here. We're going to do some culling on the shrimp. Culling is clearing all of the ghost guys, the ones that are not like the best, most beautiful colors. And then we're going to trim up some of the plants and give them plenty of room to grow. So feel free to tag along, guys. Follow us, Pendley's Plentiful Pets, Arizona Fish Rescue. Thank you. All right, so what's the first thing we got to do, Armando?
If we're putting substrate in, we got to clear out some of this duckweed, start throwing substrate in, move the plants accordingly so we don't just bury them. And then just keep going on. If you see any shrimp that obviously need to be picked out, we take them, move them, put them in a catch cup, get them somewhere else, feed them to turtles, and do something with them.
Alrighty, I'll start scooping some of this duckweed and feed it to our cichlids.
Yep.
They love it, guys. If you're...
Goldfish too. Goldfish eat it up.
Yeah.
Chickens too.
You ever need to get rid of duckweed, toss a little comet goldfish in here.
It also is posted on Marketplace. They a lot of people who people who have chickens, people who are raising chickens, or various small animals, mainly goldfish and cichlids. They munch on duckweed like nobody's business.
If you got chickens and you're a follower and you need some good food for your chickens, natural vegetables, come get us. Hit us up for some duckweed. It's all available.
There's also tons of recipes online where you can take it and dry it, press it, turn it into algae wafers.
Oh, that's right.
All kinds of different flake foods. You could do all sorts of stuff with duckweed. Same with guppy grass and any vegetation extra. You can do anything you want with it.
Especially if you have plecos that love the algae wafers, that's a really good idea. So I'll just got this one. Pull out this big piece of decora for now.
Yeah, for now.
I would love to tie some plants off on here and make
That's
this
another one
nice.
that would work really well for.
Put some plants on there so people can see it and make it look like a bonsai, real little miniature bonsai tree in a fish tank. That would be so cool to see.
A Java fern or a nubius on top. It looks just like a little aquarium bonsai tree.
Alrighty, so what are we gonna do next?
Take some cups of sand and just dust it on there and move any plants that look like they're getting buried.
Alrighty. So real quick, so that people can see, show that on the camera, please. We're using some sand.
It's white sand, just standard play sand, aquarium sand, whatever. And then you just take it in there.
Just do a little drizzle of sand.
I'm not as tall, so I can't get to the back as easy.
And the more of these tanks that we do, guys, it'll be a little bit better of a close-up if you're watching us. I don't have a camera person to sit here and move around and show you what we're doing, so I might be able to here in a second go back and forth. Armando is my main plant guy. He knows everything about plants, knows everything about plecos, knows everything about shrimp. So he is one of my best friends, a great assistant. Like, we've known each other for 3 or 4 years now. And anytime he needs anything associated with plecos, shrimp, plants, I hit him up. If I need anything, I hit him up. If he's looking for anything, I usually have it.
You got everything here. And we're gonna move. Hey, that's cool.
Yeah, go ahead and set it up, man.
Here.
I might go grab my lady's phone and do some recording real quick. Actually, I'm gonna go do that. Let me go grab her phone. My lady, can I use your phone real quick? Get some different angles of Armando putting the sand in the tank. There we go. Get some of this stuff out of the way for us. Do me a favor, wipe this down real quick on the inside, on the wall right here. Yeah, because it looks so cloudy in there, you can't see anything. Thank
You
you.
could also come back either in the morning or tomorrow and film actual like cleared up versions of this.
And then right here, and then this lip. Thank you. I just want to be able to show people like, hey, this is what we're doing.
Good production quality. I get it.
Yeah. Alrighty.
All right. Just that cup. Then just kind of try and level it out a little bit. For most of these plants, these are epiphytes. You're gonna want to get a rock or something like that and glue them down. With I use Gorilla Glue, Super Glue Gel. It's easy to work with. It's not so liquid and it cures inert. It's made from cyanoacrylate. Doesn't harm plant roots. Doesn't harm water quality. You can literally glue it in the water. And I'll take another cup of sand.
All right.
Just to do a little bit more of a dusting on here. Get all the sand off these plants.
All right, want some of that white sand gravel next?
Yeah, throw a little sprinkle on top.
Try to get these guys to pop out. Looks like we have a bunch of the Rillies in there.
Yeah, that's mostly Rillies in this tank.
For anyone viewing, what is a Rillie?
A Rillie is, my understanding of it is it's any like various color of shrimp that has that whitish break in its color along the back, like this guy right here. Sort of that like color break along the back. Some higher quality ones will have a lot more of a clean break, but this is a pretty good example of that. Come on.
Just did not want to focus. There we go. That's a Rillie, guys. Where he's not like a full solid color, but multiple colors, got a little bit of clear in them. Alrighty. Here's your little cuppity cup.
So satisfying to watch the sand and rock fall.
Okay, Bob Ross. We gotta take care of these happy little plants. With all these happy little shrimp.
Happy plants make happy fish and shrimp. Happy fish and shrimp make happy poops, which make happy plants.
It all cycles back through. Sorry, the water quality isn't the best, guys. We're stirring everything up, so it's not going to be crystal clear. It's going to be a little cloudy. You know, I don't have the thousands of dollars to invest in a camera, so we're using a phone camera. Deal with it.
I just like to, because everfied plants don't like their roots in the substrate.
Yep.
I just attach them onto anywhere you can.
And then when we get to the next tank, try to turn the other way because the viewers do not like seeing our backs. Yes, it's nice seeing the Pendley's Plentiful Pets logo, but they don't like looking at our butts apparently. A couple things from the people commenting in previous videos, so just want to try and make sure everybody, all of our followers, are happy how we're doing this. For anyone that would be so kind, we do have a donation way. We use the Cash App. It's the money sign, Save the Fishies, IES at the end of that Fishies part. Or we've got the Zello, 928-263-9626. We're working on the nonprofit, but we can't do that until we make enough money coming in, guys. So you guys would be so awesome to donate and help us out. Every little bit goes back towards these little happy little shrimpies and the happy little plants. So once again, we do the Cash App. It's the money sign, Save the Fishies, or Zello, 928-263-9626.
That one's about done until it clears out.
Alrighty, moving on to the next tank. Try to remember. So if you want to turn this the other way,
okay. Let me slap this piece back in here.
Let me go give our lady her camera back. Well, I might need them for some other angles from like doing this side. We got some happy little goldfish.
They love duckweed.
Oh yeah.
I used to buy it purposely for my goldfish. Never lasted in that tank.
Dude, cichlids, turtles, oh yeah, they devour it. So then next time you come here, if you want to tie those the plants off to rocks or whatever, glue them.
Yeah, I prefer glue. It's more seamless.
I've got hot glue.
Hot glue will harm the roots. Cyanoacrylate, just like just Gorilla Glue.
Well, if you want to grab a bottle, I don't think we have any super glue right now. I can ask my lady.
I have a little bit. I'm running low though. I gotta get some more. Okay. I'm just gonna scoop out a bunch of this duckweed.
Here, you want the bigger net? Make it easier.
I got this one.
That's gonna take forever, man. So one scoop.
There you go.
Here, just feed it to the, or even here, the cichlids right here this time can use it. Oh, not the soda. Soda. And the next one will go to these goldfish, and then some will go to the cichlids. Just keep cycling it to everybody.
Check this piece out. Pull the shrimp off. And gonna yank out as much. This hair algae as I can get. Dude, you actually have a lot of Sylvester in here.
Oh, so what?
It's called Sylvester.
Okay, what's that?
I call it. So I've seen a couple people call it Swiss moss. Here's a better looking piece. It's sort of this like flaky, sort of like moss like stuff. I can't exactly explain it. It's just like it grows just like a moss. It absorbs nutrients just like a moss. You can tie it down on stuff. It grows wild in adequate conditions, but it's just some cool stuff.
Awesome.
Fish breeders use it exclusively.
Okay. I'm trying to get a really good angle with this camera, but the light is just getting a super bad reflection.
Hair algae, man, the bane of every keeper's existence.
That's better.
Okay. And then I'll start taking sand.
All right, let me set this up to where this can stand here.
I think about 3 of those cups each tank will work pretty damn
3 and
well.
1, 3 to 1.
Yeah, 3 and 1.
Well, thank you so much for coming out and helping all the shrimpies and the plants, my man.
I love doing this stuff.
Same here, man. It's the whole reason we take care of these fish, guys. You know, people go, "Oh, you want money? You want money?" Well, guess what? Fish don't make it a lot of money.
Believe me, trying to make fish for money is going to break your heart.
No, I've done this for so long. It's the only reason I'm making money off this, guys, is the fish tank cleaning, and that all goes back to these fishies as well. Any proceeds after our bills are paid with the Pendley's Plentiful Pets fish tank cleaning goes right back to these guys. You know, that's why you see crystal clear tanks. That's why you see all of these fish happy and healthy, because we're willing to spend the money on the medicine. We're willing to spend the time and effort onto these guys because we love them. You know, it's our passion, these fishies. Man, look at all those little black snails, or black shrimpies.
I was going to say, that's a shrimp.
Yeah, well, we do have a rabbit snail hiding in there. That's why I was looking at the rabbit snail.
You also have a lot of Malaysian trumpet snails in this planted tank up here behind me. Like a lot of Malaysian trumpet snails.
The trumpet snails? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, loads of them.
And they're all available, guys. Super, super low price. Man, there are so many blacks in here. That is beautiful. They're all hiding back here.
Pretty true, too.
Dude,
there's your rabbit, yeah.
Yeah. Is it alive? If it's alive, put it up top, because it's supposed to breed with the ones in the top, to your top left, all the way to the top left. I'm trying to get those guys to breed. Way top left, where I have the amino shrimp as well.
Yeah. All right.
Dang,
man. Homer's up in there. All right. Honestly, I think I'll need 1 more cup of that sand.
Okay, I'll get you 1 more cup of the sand.
Just to cap it off real solid.
If you guys would be so kind to like, comment, follow, support Pendley's Plentiful Pets, Arizona Fish Rescue. Been doing this, believe it or not, for 10 years. That's what this has all been. Armando can vouch for me. He's seen me go from this tiny little couple hobby tanks to this massive fish room, this stand of a bunch of 10s and 20-gallon tanks, and it's just
now stands of 100-plus gallon tanks.
Yeah, now I have stands of 100-plus tanks. You know, and this is all thanks to you guys.
Even then, you had the stands of 100 tanks from when I first came around, full of the jacks.
Yeah, we had the 3, and then I got these other 6 thanks to the donations. So thank you guys so much. We wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, but you know, we're also here because of you guys for getting rid of your fish. So thanks. You know, make sure, all I can say, guys, is for those of you who are new and watching this and trying to figure all this stuff out, do your research before you get the fish. Do your research before you get the tank. Do your research before you get the plant. And if Google doesn't help you out on anything, feel free to comment here. That's what we're for. We're here to help you in the fishies. Did you want a sand or a white?
White. There's enough sand in here.
So,
thank you.
Thank you so much for following, guys. Thank you for the support. If you live in Kingman, Arizona, Needles, Vegas, Phoenix, I'm willing to go to Burbank, California. I've gone to LA a couple times, all for fish that need rescued. We do everything from these tiny little shrimp that you're looking at right now to the massive monster fish like the red-tailed catfish, the pacu, iridescent sharks. You know, we've got the arowana. We have a whole bunch of these guys because people didn't realize how big they were going to get. So I did the research.
I think they sell these fish also way too cheap.
Yep, they sell these fish at most of your local fish stores, people not realizing how big they get. If you remember in Walmart when they had that set up a long time ago. Yep.
The amount of people that got Oscars and had no idea what to do with them.
Yep, the Oscars were selling like hot fire.
Iridescence.
Yep. So it's a big difference now.
Yeah, this piece.
Alrighty, I think we're gonna move on to the next tank after this, right? You're gonna get all the rest of the angel hair out of there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and pull as much out and just try and shove this Anubias somewhere into the crack.
Do you want some hydrogen peroxide to spray on it? Because hydrogen peroxide, the angel hair does not like hydrogen peroxide.
Yeah, I'll take some.
Okay,
I've never tried it before, but yeah, I'll try some if you have good experience with it.
Yep. Alrighty, I got a little bowl of hydrogen peroxide over here. You can show the camera, it just looks like clear liquid. And then you can just dip that whole plant, the roots, anywhere you see that angel hair, dip that into there. Don't put it in your tank. There's people that say, oh, you can get a little syringe with some hydrogen peroxide and just kind of squirt it in there.
I've actually done that for blackbeard algae, and it works okay.
But do it very slowly and carefully.
But ultimately, it's only a Band-Aid solution. You want to address the actual source of the problem.
And that's what we're doing right here is dipping that in. You want to show the camera real quick, dipping that in? Just dipping it in there. Do about a 5-second hold. I do about a 5-second hold and then dip it out, you know. And then you can put it back in the tank as long as you're not putting a bunch of hydrogen peroxide in your tank, because that can end up being dangerous for these fish.
You don't want to overdose.
Yep. Hydrogen peroxide is fine in small amounts.
Anything that's left on the plants will be fine. Just you don't want to just shove it into your tank. That's doing no good.
Definitely not a good thing.
Let's just find a crevice for this. It's good enough.
I really like the plants that look like bases of trees and little bonsais and stuff. You're squishing the lobster thing over here. Plant back here. Just letting you know. That little bushel.
Okay, I'll grab that.
I think that's what you called it, a lobster something.
It's subwasserton.
Yeah, I'm going to call it a lobster something, guys. I'm not the scientific person.
I've heard people call it Swiss moss. I've heard there's all kinds of names for it. It's not a very...
I like lobster moss.
Lobster moss. We can work with that. I'm going to dip some of this in that bowl, too.
Yeah.
That's coated in it.
Yep, definitely. Feel free to that. Angel hair does not like hydrogen peroxide. We do that a couple times a week, even once a week, and that should help reduce that angel hair really well. A couple little tip and tricks.
All right. And that's that one.
Alrighty, so that tank's all done. Let's next one. Let's get on to the next one.
You know this piece of slate in here would work really well for breeding these angels up here?
What piece of slate? Oh, the one that I have the shrimp on?
Yeah, this. That worked better for angels than it would shrimp.
But those are two pairs. I didn't have enough room for angels in quarantine up there. That's kind of like a temporary hold tank. So if anyone wants to come adopt some angels, we need them.
Man, if I had the room, I'd do angel fish are like currency in a fish room. Every store wants them. You can get rid of them. No matter what, everybody wants them.
I'm sorry, my buddy in Havasu, he was a massive angel breeder. He had, just like this, a spare bedroom dedicated to it.
Yeah.
He was so into it, his wife divorced him over it. Yeah.
It affects everything.
There was people that were coming up from Phoenix once a month to get about 100 to 120 of them every month. But the only problem is he was overloaded with the other angels. He was only getting a couple of mass buyers, and then he would be overloaded with them still. And there's only so much you can do with all those babies before they start killing each other off. Once they, like the 10-gallon tank these fish are in right now, guys, we really need to find them a new home, at least for two of them. Oh, you caught a shrimpy. But at least for two of them, if we can find homes for two of them, they need like a nice 55-gallon tank to go breed into. Because if not, they're going to be jerks here in the next couple months and wipe each other out. So if you guys would be so awesome to come adopt some of the angel fish, I'll try and get a nice little video over here. Tag that in there. Oh, man. There is some brown algae on that side. I'm going to have to go over here. Brown algae, guys, is just from standard lighting. You'll get it on your tanks no matter what.
Yeah, diatoms, they come and go.
My thing is I have lights. Because of the height I have on this stand, the lights are really, really like on these tanks, so it's not very algae preservative.
Got the grass, take the sponge out for now. Alright. And okay. I'll start taking some sand.
I'm going to turn the light on over here for you since I don't have a good video angle from this side. Man, look at that. So many shrimp in there. There's only like maybe 3 in there that I'd from this angle see cold out of like the 20 blacks I'm seeing. All these shrimp are available too, y'all. It's so aggravating. Petco, PetSmart, they want $5-6 for one of these shrimp that mass produce. If you know what you're doing,
even if you don't, they'll do it anyway. Make sure their water quality doesn't kill them.
Yeah, if you're just kind of, I don't know. So I've had to figure out the shrimp. It took me a minute to get these guys to breed, doing the drip system and stuff you've taught me.
Most of stability, yeah.
So real quick, since we're on that topic, for people to want to learn, what do you do for water changes? How do you take care of shrimp and get them to breed? What's your tips and tricks on getting shrimp to breed since we're here?
So my favorite way to do it is to take 0 TDS water, which is basically just like RO water, distilled water, just water with very little minerals in it. I like to remineralize with any kind of shrimp minerals, whether it be from Shrimp King or there's just any kind of shrimp mineral works. Just dose it to the instructions. Get it. I like to bring it up to about 150, 200 TDS. But if you're on tap water, then I just take a spare tub of water, spare tank or something like that, and treat it with some Chem Prime. And then just bring it up to the same temperature of water that I'm doing the water change on. Drain at max 50%. Yeah, drain at max 50% of the water. And then just drip it back in, like 3 to 5 drops of water per second. It takes several hours depending on how big of a tank, how big of a water change you're doing. But that helps shrimp stay stable because when you do big water changes on shrimp with water that is too far different from the water they've been in or too different in temperature, it triggers the shrimp to molt. And when you have shrimp just constantly molting once a week, they should only be dropping eggs, just only be having one clutch of eggs roughly a month each female. So if you're doing a weekly water change, you're going to be forcing them to molt once a week. If the water is too different or if the temperature is too different, it'll put them into a minor state of shock and it'll make them molt. And if they're carrying eggs, they usually drop the eggs, which results in less babies, and it just stresses them out in general, which ultimately is going to result in less babies. The more stable you can keep the tank, the more babies you'll have. I also like deep substrate beds because babies like to pick on the mulm and the detritus inside of that substrate, as well as deeper substrate provides more housing space for beneficial bacteria, which is going to create more stability within the tank. And it's pretty simple. Those really like my main secrets, I guess.
And those little secrets, man, have helped me so much. I think I started this 2 years from you, and just following those little rules, you see this giant little army in each tank.
There are hundreds of shrimp in each of these tanks.
Yeah.
And I'll take one more cup of sand.
Alrighty. So those are the tips and tricks to keeping shrimp alive and getting them to mass produce for you. We're here to help you and all your fishies out, guys. We're not the kind of people that are like, no, it's our fish secrets. You'll never learn.
That helps nobody. That just drives people away from the hobby.
Oh, man, it's so true. I've seen so many different YouTubers and Facebook people that are like, I have this tank, I have that tank, but I don't know how to do it, or at least I'm not going to tell you how to do it, so that way you get to figure it out. And we don't like that, man. We want to help you guys out because it took me 5 years to figure this out, and still in the last 5 years, I'm still learning. After been doing this for 10 years now, there's still things here and there. That's kind of why I have my buddy over here today to kind of help me out, help you guys out. We're here for you and the fishies, guys. So please like, follow, support. Every little bit helps. Donations, everything goes back to these guys.
I'll take some of that white now.
Alrighty, get you a cup of white. Starting to look so nice over here on this tank, starting to clear up.
Also, I'm pretty sure the brown in the second tank is from the tannins in that massive piece of Mapani wood.
That's been in there for a while, though.
Mapani releases tannins for, I've seen, a year.
Okay. Well, most of like the wood that's been in any of these tanks has been in here for a year. But, just for the little heads up, it does cause that for you guys. You never know. I could be completely wrong. I could be, I'm never saying I'm right. I'm never saying I'm wrong. I'm always here to learn. Alrighty, we're 3 tanks in, 2 tanks to go.
Get all the stuff back in here now. All right, this tank is finished.
Awesome. Thank you. Awesome.
Monstrous hair algae in here.
Yep.
Let's get this duckweed.
I'm going to probably move the camera over to this angle.
Cool. Oof.
My bad. Oh, hold on. Alrighty, guys. So get a little angle look on this tank over here. It's a little cloudy right now.
This is insane.
What are we doing right
This
now?
is like actual. I'm just pulling duckweed, getting this monstrous amount of hair algae off of this sponge filter. Also, any tip looking or anybody looking to find a way to just pull out some hair algae, other than finding the root cause, which is most likely just extra phosphates and extra lighting, because your tank may not be as balanced as it will be soon. Some just bristle brushes, not metal, some just plastic soft bristle brushes like the ones you used to clean tubes and whatnot. You might have gotten some to clean out your lily pipes for your canister filters or something. Even a toothbrush, like those types of soft bristles, will really help and just grab the hair algae and yank it out. There's so much Val in here. That's going to be a mission. Let's get all this business off of here.
Hydrogen peroxide right there for you. I'm going to take all this angel hair stuff. You want this at all, or want me to go toss this to the...
You can toss it. I'm just here for duckweed. It's the only plague I want.
Yeah, guys, just know duckweed, if you do get it, it does become overwhelming. Duckweed is this small little green stuff you see us pulling out from each tank, the stuff floating on top.
If you have 1 or 2 tanks, it's manageable, but once you get especially fish room status, oh man, you'll have more than you know what to do with.
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming.
Even in 1 tank, you have more than you know what to do with, but you have more than you can handle. All right, take some sand.
Any tips and tricks on plant lightings? On the lighting system, what lights should you use? What's the hour system you should use?
6 is usually sufficient.
6 hours?
6 hours is usually sufficient. You can split that up in 3 and 3. You can do 6 at one time. Once your tank gets adjusted and the balance starts to level itself out where you get less algae and better plant growth, you can up it to 8 or even 12 hours. Initially, that is probably going to be too much, but ultimately all tanks will level out with time. You just have to just keep consistent. A lot of people get algae and they just reduce ferts, or they put more fertilizers in, or they'll just change too much. Really, when it comes to stabilizing a tank, specifically plants, you just want to, if you're going to change anything, only change one thing at a time, whether it be changing lighting, changing fertilization, because if you change really more than one thing, change the amount of fertilizer, what substrate you're using, the amount of light you have, the intensity of light, it's just going to treat it as though it's a new tank. It's going to start the same new problems like the diatoms, the hair algae, the green spot algae. Blackbeard usually comes later from old tank syndrome, but
what gets rid of blackbeard algae? What is blackbeard algae?
Blackbeard algae is a plague. It covers, in my experience, old plant growth.
What's it look like?
It looks like tufts, like it comes from. It explains itself as blackbeard algae. It looks like little tufts of just hair, like black thick hair that covers things. I see it mainly on hardscape like wood, rock, and old plant growth that isn't as healthy. I never really seen it on new plant growth. So once you find a way to get your plants healthy and growing fast, blackbeard algae usually takes care of itself. It'll stop occurring, but
Any fish you'd recommend for it?
mollies, like platies and whatnot, they'll eat it. Siamese algae eaters are kind of known for exactly that.
They've done it for me multiple times in multiple 125-gallon tanks. Same thing with angel hair, Siamese algae eaters.
Ram's horn snails, Amano shrimp, Autosynclus. Really, all those are just kind of the go-to algae eaters. They'll eat virtually anything. And they just also add stability because in taking away other algae, it makes your plants healthier. It helps them grow a little bit better, and which then is going to lower the potential of blackbeard algae. Some people grow blackbeard algae intentionally on hardscape and wood because it looks cool, but most people don't want it because it just causes problems. It just looks nasty. I personally don't like it, but it has its place. It's all part of nature. But if you don't want it, just keep doing what you do to help your plants grow.
Sand or white? Is anything sand?
White. Yeah, no more sand.
There we go.
All the sand off of these plants. Yeah, that's one that surprised me was mollies and platies. They work really well for algae control. They eat the stuff like crazy.
That's really good to know. Thank you.
If they're well fed on like other fish foods, they may not gravitate towards it, but they'll graze on it. All fish graze, especially on mature tanks. That's what they learn to do. That's what fish do in nature is graze.
So how often do you feed your fish?
Me personally, it depends. If they're full grown, if they've been adults for a while, I feed them usually once a day, a heavy feeding. If they're younger, like freshly imported fish, like my celestial, so my nano tanks with my celestial pearl danios, and my smaller tetras, I'm feeding that tank 6 times a day, small pinches.
Oh man, that's a lot.
Just letting them constantly graze.
And that's for what, your shrimp stuff 6 times a day?
I don't keep shrimp currently, but when I did, I would just so my shrimp, I would take some pellet food or good quality flake food. I would put it in a coffee grinder and grind it up very fine, and then I would just drizzle it on the surface of the tank and let it just kind of like fall down all over the place. And they would want to just eat that straight, but they would also, what it does is it decays and starts to put biofilm all over everything, which is the number one food for shrimplets. Is getting shrimp success is not success in keeping full-grown shrimp alive. It's finding how to grow baby shrimp. Because if you can grow baby shrimp, your adults are going to have no problem making it and growing and flourishing.
Well, that's good to know. Thank you.
But small fish, I feed minimum 3 times a day. Lots of food each feeding, more feedings than I would need. I also keep fish in layers. I always have fish on the bottom, like coolie loaches, growing bristlenose plecos. Some nanofish will always eat off the bottom, like celestial pearl danios. They eat off the bottom.
And just know, if you're feeding them that much, you better have the filtration that can counter that.
Yeah, you have to. I also do deep substrate layers and a lot of hardscape, mainly rock. Just stack up some rock along the entire back of the tank, because your hardscape is going to, well, I just knocked the camera. The hardscape is going to provide more biological filtration than your filter. Your filter will mainly catch debris. Granted, it will provide loads and loads of biological filtration. You will always have more filtration, more biological filtration and stability found in hardscape, deep substrate beds. Just more surface area where bacteria can grow. That's why we're putting this gravel in here. Plants house beneficial bacteria, wood, rock, gravel, sponge filters. I don't use cartridges in my filters. I always change them out for sponge and bags of biomedia. So that way I can just powerhouse my filters, get them filtering as much ammonia and nitrite as possible. And then I just water change my heavily fed tanks 2 to 3 times a week, 50 to 60% each. On my established tanks, for all my fish are adults, I will do a 50% water change every week. to change out minimum 200% of the water every month, just so they always have fresh water. They're never sitting in the same water. Planted tanks, it really all depends because you can look at your nitrate levels, and sometimes your planted tanks will need more nutrients than what you're feeding. Some planted tanks will only need to be topped up. They won't need. Some planted tanks don't even need filters. I would always advise filters because it's safety, but there's plenty of planted tanks out there that just stand alone. They're their own ecosystems. They support their own growth, and you don't have to do water changes. That's not something you can achieve right at first very easily. That takes some research and some experience, but it's definitely achievable. It's not unheard of by any means. There are plenty of sources online you could find people who do no filter, no water change planted tanks. But that's it. You need plants. You need loads and loads of plants. If you can still see the bottom of your tank and still see through the back, chances are you're going to need a filter no matter what, especially if there's a stocking of fish, any kind of heavy stocking of fish. But ultimately, every tank will balance out. You just got to give nature what it demands, and it'll serve you kindly. That's pretty much it. People talk up fish keeping as though it's a little bit harder than it is, which it can be, but you just need some experience. You just got to stick with the things that work for you. Always be available to learn. There's never too much information you can have on this. Never think you know enough. Never think that there's no more you can learn on the subject, because I believe we're only just scratching the surface on what we can do with aquariums, and they've been around for over a century now. You never know enough. You can always know enough to keep what's going for you working, but I don't know. I always try to learn, always.
And thank you for the information, my man. Really appreciate you. Thank you guys for following and listening. We're almost done. We got one tank left to do.
Okay. And then I'm going to need some some more sand.
I got it right here for you. Cup's already ready.
Okay, there's not enough duckweed in this tank to worry about it. This tank is warmer. I think it's because it's close to the window.
Yeah, sun bouncing off the side. So it'll be good for angels. So I need to put angels over there next.
These cardinals seem to be enjoying it, but they're gonna find their place soon enough.
I'm gonna go and zoom this in real quick.
Okay, so just gonna start at the back and move plants accordingly. So yeah, I'll take that sand, my good sir.
Weird, it won't let me zoom in from here. Oh, well, it is what it is. People can't zoom in and see it. Sorry, guys. I'm learning the new camera systems on this. I'd have to start a whole new video over, and I'd rather just keep this as one long video. And then we can edit it and learn how to do all this stuff. If you're good at editing and you want to help us out with it, feel free to give us a comment and teach us what we could learn. You know, just like fish, we're always willing to learn.
Are these yellows in this tank back here?
I didn't have yellow. There was, I think, just assorted in there. That was Skittles, rainbows. So if you can find yellows and oranges and stuff again, that's great. Because all I have so far is assorted that looks like some kind of black or blue Rillies. Then we have blacks over here, blues, reds, and then assorted. So if you see yellows, man, and you want to do another tank with yellows, let me know, because we can do. I have this outskied tanks as kind of just assorted. So if we want to pick these two tanks as well, we need to do one of these as a cold tank, whatever, let me know.
All right, yeah, sand right here.
There's really not a lot to cull.
No, most of these are breeding pretty true. You don't see a whole lot of undesirables in there.
And who taught me that one? You did. It's literally just those water changes, man. That once a week drip system really was a game changer on these.
Plants, they love plants, especially moss. Just anywhere where biofilm can grow, which biofilm is just literally a layer of just biological material that grows on every surface in an aquarium. Same with beneficial bacteria. They will eat the more inefficient older bacteria and make room for newer, more efficient bacteria. Um, yeah, biofilm is mainly one, which they have all kinds of supplements for to grow biofilm specifically. I just like to crush up some fish food, some good quality fish food, because good quality fish food adds nutrients. When you get cheaper fish foods, it's mainly like fish meal, krill meal, some seaweed and whatnot. It just creates more phosphates. I'll take another thing of the white. But good quality fish foods derived from fish themselves, or from insects like black soldier fly larvae and whatnot. I see that.
So you used to feed brine shrimp all the time too. That's one thing I would love to do is have do a brine setup and teach people how to do brine.
Oh, brine is super easy. You can make your own hatchery. You can buy like the Zeus hatchery, which is my favorite.
Well, maybe in one of the future videos we can do a setup and show people how to do a brine. I have a perfect little shelf right here. This missing a 10-gallon tank spot over here that I'm using for shelf and everything. We could probably do a brine setup, no problem, right here.
You just need a lamp, like with an extended neck, so that way, because I get better hatch rates when I do it with under 24-hour light, as well as you can harvest them better when you have lights, when you darken the room. And put a small light source at the bottom. They all come to the bottom, and then you can drain them out.
Okay. Do the 2-liter bottle system?
Yeah, exactly, with where it narrows down at the neck. Yeah, that's, in my opinion, the most favorable way to do it. You get the best hatch rate that way, as well as a lot of people throw away a lot of unhatched brine shrimp eggs. I'll keep a brine shrimp hatchery going for 3 days after the first harvest, so you'll keep getting hatches, more hatches.
I have one gentleman that he just has this little like breeding system that it's 24/7. He just has them all the time, 24/7.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's what I want to do. He just has a bubbler in there, and it's just a 2-liter bottle looking thing, and it's just constantly. And then he's got a cool little like airline that comes out the cap, and you just open up the airline, put it into a little cup, and then you can just dump that into each tank that you need them.
Exactly. They also have sieves where you can separate brine shrimp egg from live hatched brine shrimp because they're different sizes, and so that way you don't have to put any salt water in your tank, which isn't bad. Minerals are minerals, but some people don't want to add salt water to their tank.
Yep. I like aquarium salt, like the medical aquarium salt, but I won't do brackish water or anything like that. So already, are we all done?
Doing sand and gravel, yeah. And I believe it's getting about that time where I'm going to have to get ready to go. So we're going to do
coal shrimp next time?
Most of the culling next, yeah.
And it really doesn't look like coal's going on. If you could do me a favor, move that out of the way, and I'll get a nice couple of, like, video back and forth. And then tomorrow, when this is all cleared up, I'll do another really nice video walkthrough. Well, thank you guys for following along, paying attention.
You really don't have much to cull going on in here. There's always going to be some, just so you can centralize the lineup.
Yeah, but most of these guys,
most of these are going to be solid.
Look at these blues.
Especially these adults. I didn't really see any adults in here that didn't belong.
Yeah, all of these, man. I'm not seeing any cleared ones. Culling is taking out any clear ones that are not dominant colors.
Any ones that you don't want breeding back into the gene pool, especially if you're trying to go for a certain color, like concentration of color, because the more intense color, the more filled out, like non-transparency, that ups the grade of the shrimp, which is one, more money, but also it's just more, like, we're not exactly doing it for the money, but it's just, it looks better. You usually go by specifically colored shrimp because you want the shrimp to exhibit that color. And that's how you get them to exhibit that color, as you.
Here's what all the fish tanks looked like the next morning. They all look super beautiful. Thank you so much, Armando, for helping us out. Thank you so much, everyone, every guy, every gal, for watching, supporting. Please like, subscribe, follow, donate to Cash App maybe, the Zello, hashtag Save the Fishies, money sign Save the Fishies, Zello 928-263-9626. Thank you, y'all. Pendley's Plentiful Pets Fish Tank Cleaning, Arizona Fish Rescue.
There's all different grades of each color. I know some people that will breed 5 different types of blue shrimps because some of them will look like more purple. Some of them are more clear and like lighter color, like a blue jelly. There's blue diamond shrimp, which are a little bit deeper color. There's blue velvets, which you just want to keep the ones that you want to keep making more of together. So that way, that's the option they have. Because if you keep shrimp of different colors or different grades together, they will reproduce, and they can throw you some undesired colors. And all shrimp are good. All shrimp have a place, but some people want to breed certain shrimp for specific colors.
Predominant colors, yeah.
For predominant colors. Especially if you have multiple tanks, you can always take the extras and still give them a chance at life. You don't have to, kill them or just feed them to something. You can still keep them as pets.
Right, that's how ghost shrimp are made.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep. Alrighty, guys. Well, thank you so much for watching. This is Matt with Pendley's Plentiful Pets, Arizona Fish Rescue. We have this amazing guy, Armando, here to help us out. We are here with Pendley's Plentiful Pets, Arizona Fish Rescue, guys. If you'd be so kind to donate, we have the Cash App at the Save the Fishies with a money sign in the front. So money sign Save the Fishies, or Zello at the 928-263-9626. Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all have a wonderful day. Thank you.